the second part of the best chases for street racers. Enjoy the show. December 20th, 2023, at approximately 10:08 p.m., I responded to the area of Arkansas Highway 31 to assist the White County Sheriff's Office with a vehicle pursuit. White County Sheriff's Office was in pursuit of a stolen vehicle, a 2021 Dodge Challenger, black in color. While fleeing, the vehicle hit one of their deputies' patrol units. The vehicle then fled, traveling north on Arkansas Highway 31.
Second one on 71's coming back in the big D.
The vehicle was driving into the oncoming traffic lane, nearly colliding with oncoming traffic. I performed a TVI on Arkansas Highway 31 in the area of Terra Drive.
TVI, he's in ditch.
The TVI was successful, and the vehicle went into the east ditch of Arkansas Highway 31. The driver then fled on foot. White County Sheriff's Office Deputy Hargrove and I chased the suspect on foot. After a brief foot pursuit, we were able to apprehend the suspect behind an apartment building, where he was placed under arrest without further incident. On June 1st, 2024, at approximately 12:14 p.m., I was on stationary patrol on I-75 north of Pine Ridge Road when I took note of a silver vehicle traveling south with an illegally tinted windshield. I initiated a traffic stop just north of Pine Ridge Road. The vehicle was a 2018 Dodge Charger bearing a Florida tag. The vehicle pulled to the right shoulder and stopped. I met with the driver and immediately smelled the distinct odor of marijuana coming from the vehicle. I called for a backup unit, to which Trooper Rodriguez responded. As Trooper Rodriguez arrived, I ordered the driver to exit his vehicle. Mr. Castellanos was not cooperative and was making overt movements in the vehicle. At one point, Mr. Castellanos reached into the back seat and I could no longer see his hands.
He's going west on 896.
I attempted a pit maneuver, where I missed completely. I was able to regain control of my patrol vehicle and re-enter the pursuit.
Interstate Alpha 38, ready to get four doors. We're at Napa, Maryland.
Trooper Rodriguez was now the lead pursuit vehicle. We all traveled east, in and out of traffic, until we approached Logan Boulevard. Mr. Castellanos turned right and began to travel on Logan Boulevard.
They took a right on Logan.
Trooper Rodriguez was able to execute a successful pit maneuver where Mr. Castellanos' vehicle turned, and I crossed over the raised cement median. Mr. Castellanos complied and was placed in handcuffs without further incident. Trooper Rodriguez jumped onto the hood of the stopped vehicle and had his gun drawn. I told him there was another occupant in the vehicle, to which he was able to extract that individual and place him under arrest as well. I asked Mr. Castellanos if there was anything else in the vehicle that we should know about, such as drugs, guns, knives, etc. Mr. Castellanos replied that there was nothing else in the vehicle. We searched the trunk and located a black backpack. Inside the black backpack were the following: a scale, 5 vacuum-sealed clear plastic baggies containing a green leafy substance which smelled like marijuana, a clear plastic baggie containing a white powdery substance which field-tested positive for fentanyl, a pair of scissors, many clear plastic Ziploc baggies used for packing illicit drugs. While traveling, I observed a green Chevrolet Camaro appearing to be traveling greater than the posted speed limit of 55 miles per hour. I then activated my front opposite direction radar and clocked the vehicle traveling 89 miles per hour. I then conducted a 3-point turn to turn around and pull the vehicle over. While making the turn, the vehicle accelerated and began traveling faster to avoid me. I activated my emergency lights and siren and gave chase. The suspect vehicle began to drive extremely recklessly, passing cars on the left and the right shoulder. The suspect vehicle then took the Woodson lateral exit, exit 12, traveled through the intersection, running the stop sign, and traveled onto the entrance ramp to re-enter Interstate 530 northbound. While still fleeing, I positioned my vehicle to perform a TVI, but the vehicle began to slow and started easing over to the left shoulder.
Let me see your fucking hands! Put your fucking hands out!
Before climbing out of the vehicle, Mr. Gray lowered his hands, then re-emerging them, showing me a young child in the front passenger seat. Mr. Gray climbed out the window and was arrested without further incident. With Mr. Gray in custody and placed in my patrol unit, I immediately went to tend to the child. To my surprise, there was an additional young child in the back right passenger seat. Trooper Anna Escamilla arrived on scene and assisted me with securing the children. Mr. Gray is the father of both children. A strong odor of marijuana was coming from the vehicle. While searching the vehicle, 157 grams of individually packaged clear plastic baggies were in Mr. Gray's backpack with his clothes inside.
On November 24th, 2023, I, Trooper Blaine Lucas, was traveling eastbound on Interstate 630 in the area of mile marker number 3. I observed a green Dodge Challenger traveling in the number 2 lane, displaying an unreadable Arkansas temporary license plate. I observed the vehicle drive up to another vehicle in front of it and begin to follow too closely. I got behind the vehicle and activated my emergency lights to conduct a traffic stop on the vehicle. I smacked the passenger's side rear window with my flashlight before it took off. The vehicle began to lose control and was driving sideways on Interstate 630. The vehicle was quickly changing lanes in moderate traffic at speeds at approximately 140 miles per hour. As I began to take the exit, I did not decrease enough speed coming into the curve. This caused the front right corner of my vehicle to make contact with the concrete wall.
Sure you're good.
My patrol unit traveled down the concrete wall and came to a stop. I advised my dispatch that I had wrecked out and that the suspect vehicle had gotten away. My supervisor arrived on scene with another trooper, and my vehicle was towed back to ASP headquarters. I was transported to UAMS to be medically evaluated for the collision. On January 24th, 2024, I, Trooper Darren Evans, was patrolling Interstate 40 eastbound when I noticed a silver Dodge Charger driving in the left lane with a dark-tinted license plate cover. After checking the license plate through NCIC, it expired on June 30th, 2019 on a 2013 Hyundai Elantra blue in color. At this time, I activated my emergency equipment to initiate a traffic stop on the suspect vehicle. The suspect vehicle slowed and pulled to the outside shoulder, coming to a stop. As I exited my patrol vehicle, I noticed the suspect vehicle had not shifted to park. I closed the door to my patrol unit and began my approach to the suspect's vehicle. At this time, the suspect sped off and fled the traffic stop at high rates of speed.
Traffic pass on the shoulder.
The suspect vehicle fled eastbound on Interstate 40 at speeds well over 100 miles per hour. The suspect vehicle was driving with no concern for other lives on the roadway by recklessly driving on the shoulders at high rates of speed and weaving through heavy traffic. At this time, I decided to attempt a TVI to stop the dangerous flight of the suspect vehicle. As I positioned my vehicle for the intervention, the suspect brake checked me.
Turn around, going the wrong way.
Causing my unit to pass the suspect vehicle. The suspect vehicle then came to a stop and made a U-turn, continuing to flee the wrong way on Interstate 55 with heavy traffic present.
Looks like he may have wrecked. He wrecked out.
I then saw the suspect vehicle had struck a semi-truck head-on in the center of the Interstate 55, and the driver was fleeing on foot to the north. I exited my patrol unit and gave chase to the driver.
On foot. Hey, you better stop. You're just going to jail time.
After a brief foot chase, I was able to apprehend the driver, who was later identified as Kyla Morrow. The suspect was offered medical treatment by Crittenden EMS, but she refused treatment and complained of no injuries. The suspect was then transported to the Crittenden County Detention Center without further incident.
Got my whole damn boots dirty. Over nothing. Over what? You got a suspended license or a warrant or something? Did you kill somebody? Scared of the police.
Yeah, we got something.
You got a reason to be scared now, don't you? Anything in your pockets?
My keys.
This motorcycle chase begins when the police receive several complaints about a motorcyclist speeding and swerving all over the road. After some time of searching, the motorcyclist was found. But of course, he didn't want to stop. As it later turned out, the motorcycle was stolen.
That is
Please note how professionally a police officer drives a 2-ton Charger without having normal brakes for that weight.
West of the Interstate. Coming up to Sunset now. You okay over there? Come back up to Tyson. Got one large notified straight out for me.
Has what on it now?
Coming up to Don Tyson. Might get on bridge, take southbound. Yeah, 49 southbound. Southbound from Don Tyson, coming up to Johnson.
Start taking off. Bring up behind us. Bring up behind us. Good Lord. On Interstate.
Stop! I'm gonna taser!
The motorcyclist lost control and fell in the grass between the two roads. He then got to his feet, managed to run across the two lanes and fled into the woods. The suspect was never found. 2024, at approximately 4:30 p.m., while patrolling the area Highway 253 and Old Highway 271, I observed a gray Kia passenger car passing vehicles on a double yellow and driving recklessly. I initiated my blue lights and siren, but the vehicle began to flee south on Highway 253. I pursued the vehicle for several miles while the vehicle continued to flee and drive recklessly. Once the opportunity presented itself and traffic started to clear, I performed a TBI. After performing the TBI, the suspect vehicle attempted to regain control, but I continued to push the vehicle until the suspect vehicle left the roadway. Once the suspect vehicle came to rest, troopers held lethal cover on the vehicle and placed the driver into custody, who was identified as Haggard, and the passenger into custody, who was identified as Wilson.
Oh, you weren't? Yeah. No, you weren't. We're down there right by the casino and you took off from us.
Troopers then searched the vehicle, where we located a plastic container containing suspected methamphetamine. Let it be known that during the initial TBI, the suspect vehicle sideswiped a civilian SUV, and that driver was transported to Mercy Hospital. On February 7, 2024, LRPD advised that they had been in pursuit of a black Dodge Challenger and lost sight of it on Interstate 30 near Interstate 430. At approximately 1:45 a.m., I, Trooper Williams, located the vehicle traveling northbound on I-430 near I-630. Before activating my lights, the vehicle accelerated at a high speed, taking the Baptist Hospital exit. I initiated my lights and siren and notified dispatch that I was in pursuit.
Make sure the locks are working. He just crossed out.
The vehicle failed to negotiate a turn at Medical Center Drive and Canis Road, causing the vehicle to leave the roadway and strike a utility pole. The driver, Davion Richards, fled on foot east on Canis Road. During the foot pursuit, Richards jumped over a 5-foot wall onto the Baptist Hospital parking lot. As he stood to run, I deployed my taser, successfully causing Richards to fall to the ground. At that time, I took Richards into custody without further incident. Richards was transported to Baptist Hospital to be cleared medically before being transported to Pulaski County Detention Center. The chase began when a police officer spotted a motorcycle that was speeding. After checking its license plates, it was found that they had expired over 13 years ago. Of course, after activating my special signals, he did not stop and started to run away.
Nora Young 043. Nora Young 043. Gonna be here on Shady Grove in Springdale. Matt, looks like we're going 37 with it. We're gonna be southbound on 71. Go ahead and show me the 37.
I'll leave most of the chase uncommented, as not much information is available.
Traffic lights, speed, Eastbound Township. Looks like we'll be eastbound on Township. Khaki pants, a white jacket, white line jacket, like stripes on the back.
Several times the chase crossed the 100-mile-per-hour mark. Also, the suspect didn't even try to stop for red lights.
We're going to be at Elm Street, making a left. Little traffic on Mission, speed 60. Not on College. We made that left around College. Good. Break out, break out. On the ground, on it, on.
I'm sorry, man. Like I said, I wasn't trying to, hurt nobody or anything like that. I just, man, you know what I'm saying? I can't put more trouble, man.
The suspect was apprehended and taken to jail. After detention, he was still asking what was the reason for the stop. On December 25th, 2023, at 2:52 a.m., an FHP trooper was stationary in the center paved median of CR 876 west of SR 82 while conducting speed enforcement. He observed a vehicle approaching westbound. The vehicle appeared to be a red Dodge Charger traveling at a high rate of speed and clocked at 88 miles per hour in a posted 45 mile per hour zone. This led to troopers to conduct a traffic stop, but the red Dodge Charger took off. A little later, the decision was made to push the Dodge off the road before it reached the city streets.
Roll over, start from 71. Roll over, start from 71.
The suspect was apprehended and transported to the police station. As it was later determined, he was under the influence of substances.
Then the law was breaking, be honest with me. What? Then the law was breaking bad this time.
You?
Not me. What happened tonight will cost me a good time in jail.
Look, I can't talk to you because you won't tell me if you understand your rights or not.
I do understand my rights, but this it's a holiday season. Listen, it's a holiday season.
Are you okay talking with me after I read you your Miranda rights?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So what was it about, man?
Listen, honestly, it's too late. It's too late for that. I understand. But I work for the county too. Okay. I understand it's too late.
Who do you work for?
Shell Solution. I was a career, right?
Where'd you meet that girl at?
Partying.
You said you met her at a party?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have anything to drink tonight?
Yes, she was supposed to be my designated driver.
On August 11th, 2023, at approximately 6:43 p.m., I was patrolling Interstate 40 West, approaching Dave Ward Drive. I observed a black 2023 Dodge Charger, bearing Texas temporary tags, traveling behind me in the inside traffic lane at a high rate of speed. The vehicle was significantly passing other vehicles on the roadway with a speed limit of 75 miles per hour, I activated my radar and measured the speed of the first vehicle at 107 miles per hour.
Speed's 130, passing Dave Ward westbound. Traffic is medium.
After initiating my emergency blue lights, the suspect immediately accelerated its speed and began to actively flee. I then noticed Troop A Communication Center that I was in pursuit. During the course of the pursuit, speeds achieved 136 miles per hour.
Next down, overturn. We'll get it started.
Black male on foot, all wearing all black, running.
Due to the excessive speed, Charger lost control and entered the grassy gore at the Dave Ward Drive exit ramp and struck a ditch with its front bumper portion. Suspect exited the disabled vehicle and began fleeing on foot. The driver ran several directions before running back towards Interstate 40. As soon as the Charger crashed, another car, a 2020 Dodge Charger, bearing Arkansas license plates, stopped on the shoulder at the scene of the crash. Its driver, Mr. Cadravian D. Roan, exited the vehicle and ran into the same woods as the suspect was in. I exited my patrol car with my service weapon drawn and gave verbal commands to stop. First Charger driver, the original suspect, continued to run and entered the second Charger, before fleeing the scene by traveling westbound on Interstate 40. When I asked why he was emerging from the woods, Mr. Cadravian, driver of the second Charger, said that he had stopped to assist after the first Charger crash. He further stated that the original suspect, first Charger driver, was his cousin. Conway Police Department advised they located a second Charger abandoned. Officers were able to locate and arrest the fled suspect at another residence. While entering Interstate 49 from the 87 on-ramp to travel southbound, I observed a black sports bike pass me on the far left lane at a very high rate of speed. I used my state-issued Stalker radar system and got a reading of 108 miles per hour in a posted 70 mile per hour zone. After notifying dispatch, I began attempting to catch up to the suspect from exit 83. During this time, the suspect was at speeds of 114 miles per hour via radar. I activated my emergency blue lights and sirens and began to gain on the bike. I was able to catch up to the suspect, who at this point was joined by a second sports bike, white in color, also traveling at a high rate of speed. No license plate was visible, and I called out a traffic stop and began giving a description of the riders and bikes. While I was giving out rider and bike descriptions, the black sports bike made a hand signal to the other bike and began to accelerate. As we approached exit 78, the suspect cut across from the far left to the right shoulder. The suspect traveled a very short distance on the exit ramp before re-entering the interstate from the gore. The suspect then entered the interstate from the shoulder and proceeded to travel a short distance before approaching Trooper Walker and Trooper Miller, who had been previously notified. Trooper Miller advised they were able to get the suspect stopped on a bridge located on Highway 612. I arrived moments later where Trooper Walker and Trooper Miller were taking the suspect into custody. Trooper Walker and Trooper Miller assisted the suspect off the bike and into a position of disadvantage. We were able to place the suspect in custody a short moment later. The suspect was identified as Zachary Bennett. On Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023, at approximately 11:48 p.m., I witnessed a blue Ford Mustang traveling on Interstate 430 northbound in excess of 100 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. I initiated my blue lights and the vehicle continued to travel at a high rate of speed.
Black Mustang, unreadable tags, 430 north to 9, they were at 109. Taking Rodney Barham right now.
As we approached Breckenridge Drive, I notified State Police Dispatch that I was in pursuit. The vehicle turned onto Breckenridge Drive at a high rate of speed and blacked out its lights before turning into Breckenridge Square Apartments.
1037. Sure, baby, that's who ticket. The 37. He's blacked out. One Breckenridge.
After the vehicle came to a stop at 1001 Breckenridge Drive, the driver, Jalen Harris, exited the vehicle and fled on foot towards an apartment building.
Stop! Stop!
Harris fled up a flight of stairs to the second story of the apartment building and attempted to enter an apartment but was locked out.
Hands up! Hands up now! 3, 2. Hey, wait! Down on the ground!
Harris was then placed into handcuffs behind his back.
I don't have anything on me.
I don't give a shit.
I know.
What's wrong,
Go back
sir?
inside, please.
Please tell me what's
I
wrong.
was speeding, mom. I was speeding.
The handcuffs were checked for proper fit and double locked. I then placed Harris in front of my patrol car and conducted a search of his person.
What's going on? Get my car. You're going to jail. Get in my car. I'm not fucking telling you again. Get in my damn car now.
Harris was then placed into the back seat of my patrol car, and I conducted an inventory of his vehicle prior to being towed. While conducting the inventory, I located a marijuana grinder and a tan Crown Royal bag inside of the vehicle's glove box. It all started when police discovered a Porsche Panamera whose driver was suspected of being the shooter. The officer in the recorded car drove into his path and became the primary officer in the chase. Due to the speed, the driver of the Porsche failed to control and crashed into a tree.
Hey, he wrecked out on Silverhawk. He's running. Yep. You gotta clear the car first. Clear the car.
Wanted out of Pulaski County for questioning, the driver was allegedly Amir El Meher, who crashed on Highway 365 in Silverhawk. Suspect ran on foot and was not captured. December 6, 2023, at approximately 7:03 p.m., I was traveling southbound on US Highway 79 by Flying Burger when I overheard a Magnolia police officer in pursuit of a black Dodge Charger. They requested assistance from the Arkansas State Police. After turning around, I activated my emergency lights and siren in an attempt to stop the suspect vehicle. The suspect then passed me on my passenger side and continued to flee. I was traveling 150 miles per hour and the suspect vehicle was still pulling away from me. I lost sight of the suspect vehicle momentarily near the intersection of Columbia Road 27 and US 82. After the first officer lost sight of the suspect, a second officer stood on the suspect's expected route and waited for him with a spike at the ready.
See, got like blue light. I spiked him, I spiked him.
And the officers were right. The suspect drove to where he was already waiting.
Still driving.
Pulling over.
stopped. We're stopped.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Put your hands up now! Put your hands up! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
She ain't got nothing to do with it, sir. Can you give her my phone? She ain't got anything to do with it.
Well, you weren't trying to get her anywhere, slave man. You drive like that, you could hurt somebody.
I was scared, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, I was scared.
We'll just pull over. Go over here.
Our brother just passed away like this.
The driver, who was identified as Troy Randleston, and the passenger, who was identified as Jaleisha Thompson. Randleston was then taken to Lafayette County awaiting his appearance for felony fleeing and aggravated assault. It all started when police received several calls about a couple of motorcyclists riding on the back wheel and behaving dangerously. After some time, a trooper spotted the bikers riding down the street. As you might expect, they weren't going to stop.
H2 Force Net 37 with the Chrome. I'm on Waldron. I'm going back into the movie theater, cutting across the mall parking lot. It's one of the little Groms.
Over.
Come back to Waldron. And come back to Rogers.
Over, Waldron.
It's a dark skin male, maybe an Asian male, is wearing shorts, backwards, bald head, black shirt, black shorts. Okay. It's a red and white Grom, red and white Grom.
Over, red and white Grom.
Heading back towards Waldron. Still in the mall parking lot. Oh, he's... Nope, he made it across. We're still heading north towards Waldron. It's coming out on Waldron.
There's one more parking lot coming out on Waldron.
Head first, I don't care.
I got his stuff right here. If you want it or...
It was later discovered that the suspect on the motorcycle was also armed. He did not explain the reasons for his behavior. Thanks for watching and have a great week.